Was this the worst episode of NXT UK so far?
Trent 7 sure didn't have a good night. Gentlemen,
Nope.
Razor.
No toast for you. NXT UK episode number 53. No toast for you.
Support, no DQ.
This is the dawning of the age of Imperium. The age of Imperium. Imperium.
All right, Jerry.
Imperium.
All right, Jerry. Welcome everybody to the NXT party for episode number 53 of NXT UK. I'm your host, the Rated R reviewer, Stephen Osborne, joined as always by the General Jerry Slaughter.
Good morning, wrestling fans.
And tonight our special guest, the Holiday, Christopher Mace. How are you doing, Chris?
Doing good, y'all.
Well, thank you for joining us. This was relatively brief episode of NXT UK.
Yeah.
Went by pretty quickly, and I'm sort of glad for that.
Yeah.
Not the best episode I've seen. Not the worst, probably.
Yeah.
But it's in good contendership for the worst episode of NXT UK.
I'd say it's like the, not really the worst showing, but maybe not the best card we've had so far at the Download Festival compared to what we've gotten so far.
It had a lot of stuff in it.
Yeah.
That normally would be denotable to entertainment.
Yes.
The problem here is that it was all just bland.
It felt like filler.
Even worse than filler. It didn't feel like it was worth watching. Honestly, nothing happened that was of consequence. Like, seriously, nothing happened of consequence. Nothing changes anything. Even in the 6-woman tag, Kaylee Ray didn't get the pinfall victory, and Toni Storm didn't get the pinfall on her, so neither one of them leaves the match with any change in momentum.
Yeah, but there was no momentum shift at all in that match.
Nothing of
And
consequence.
Zia Brookside lost.
We have an ending, sort of, to this little mini feud between Kenny Williams and Noam Dar, but not even really.
No.
Because it wasn't decisive enough. Let's put it that way. So let's back up all the way to the beginning. To start the show, we get an interview with Trent 7, and I guess the interviewer wants to make sure he's aware of what's waiting on him in the main event tonight.
Yeah.
That's Walter. And oh yeah, Trent 7 knows, and he's doing this for British Strong Style, and he is here.
Yeah.
That's his thing. What do you think about Trent 7 here, Jerry?
I'm pretty sure that nobody asked him to do this.
Right?
It's like,
You might wish that somebody had asked him
Pete
not
Dunne's
to.
like, I'm going to go to America and do my thing. Tyler Bates going to take a little nappy nap with some morphine. You can just, you go hang out, get some funnel cake, do whatever, dude. Just don't go after Imperium. Don't go after Imperium. Don't go after Walter. He's gonna fucking kill you. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
But
I
he's
need to avenge you guys. No, you don't need to avenge anyone.
he's gonna go after Walter, though.
Yeah.
Despite himself. Maybe somebody should have asked him not to. But we'll save that for the main event.
They didn't have much time to ask him not to, because he just issued a challenge last week.
Chris, were you going into tonight looking forward to this main event, like wanting to see Trent 7 versus Walter happen in the ring, Or were you more like going in just like, let's get this out of the way?
the latter of the two. I was hoping let's get this out of the way, see how fast Walter beats the shit out of him. So it's like,
What disappointed me most about that match, I think, was the fact that it felt like the way Trent Seven was issuing the challenge. It didn't feel like it was going to be a title match or anything, but it felt like it was going to be an unsanctioned street fight. Because he kept on saying he doesn't care about the belt, he doesn't care about the win, he just wants to fight Walter. And that just for me, for some reason, screams street fight compared to...
Yeah, but that's a terrible idea. Because in a street fight, you can rest assured the other three members of Imperium are going to be out there.
Yeah.
And there's no way of winning, because if Walter beats him clean, then Imperium doesn't need to get involved. But if Trent Seven starts winning, or might win, it's an unsanctioned street fight. They're going to get involved. There is no winning that. So I feel like it has to be a match, but it's definitely not going to be a WWE. Let me say that. I was about to say NXT. WWE United Kingdom Championship match. Because it seems like they really are trying to make those matches special. Like, the contenders are worthy of this match.
Yeah.
Probably the lowest that we've seen as far as qualifying to get a title match was early on. Who is it? Jordan Devlin.
Yeah.
He didn't really do anything for it. He won a bunch of matches, but they were all against other people. He just had a winning streak going on and got a title match. Since then, we've had people qualify to get this.
Yeah.
Walter was given the title match by Pete Dunne.
Yep.
I don't know if that should count or not. But as far as getting a match, like, they seem to want to make the NXT UK, or the WWE UK Championship mean something, and I appreciate that. So this is not going to be a title match, and thank God. I mean, not that it would have mattered, spoiler alert, but still, I'm fine with it being a match.
Yeah.
But I'm with Chris. I'm just like, let's see how quick this is going to happen before we get this out of the way. It ended up being quite a long match.
It was.
18 minutes from the time they started coming out with their entrances. Our first actual match of the night, Kitty Williams versus Noam Dar. This feud has been going on basically all of this festival.
Well, I think most of this summer.
It's been all festival. I don't think these guys had a feud going into the festival. They just started building it in those 3 days, where we've gotten 6 weeks worth of television. But this comes to a head, and I don't know. The first half of this match, I kind of zoned out.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chain wrestling.
You missed the cannonball, but otherwise you didn't really miss anything else.
It wasn't the fun chain wrestling where it's reversals and shit that look really cool, and then, both guys get a lot of reversals, and then the crowd goes woo, and everything. They both get up at the same time after dodging each other. Like, those are kind of fun. This was just really bland chain wrestling. One guy would get this, and then one guy would get that, and then one guy would get this, and then there wasn't a lot of reversals or dodges. Just boring, really, for me. And maybe that's an unpopular opinion. The end of the match got pretty fun.
Oh, the second they started in with the strikes is when it got amusing, is what happened. The second you start seeing chops and punches get thrown, that's when things kind of reached a fever pitch and started getting to a head.
A couple of my notes here involve jawbreaker lariats.
Yeah.
The first one is Noam Dar's unique and awesome. Okay, so Kenny Williams goes to throw Noam Dar back into the ring, and Dar does a half a roll, but then throws his left leg up to catch the ropes, and spring off the ropes does a discus into a lariat.
Yep.
And just, he clocks.
Damn near knocks that bicep right to the mush.
We see a lot of suicidas by Kitty Williams, like 3 total in the match, I think. He lands them all. Dar catches the skinning of the cat, though, yanks him into the ring into a knee bar and has him there for a minute. And then Kenny Williams gets to the ropes, breaks the knee bar.
Vic Joseph's screaming, he's got no place to go, he's got no place to go. He only a foot to his side over to the ropes.
Well, a moment later, Dar goes for the knee bar again, only for Kenny Williams to kick him off. But as Dar's coming off of Williams, he takes Williams' shoe with him. And he's about to go and use the shoe as a foreign object to clock Kenny Williams over the head. I guess his logic was, Kenny brought it into the ring. It's okay if he kicks me in the head with it. You know, this should be all right. It's equivalent to Bianca Belair using her hair as a whip.
Yeah.
That's legal. I'd say using your opponent's boot against them is legal. But the ref disagrees, so he's like, fine, here's the shoe, ref. Whoops! Throws it over to the ropes, and while the ref is distracted going and getting the shoe and gingerly giving it to somebody, he just walks over to Kenny Williams, who's
very
facing
casually,
and just kicks him right in the dick from behind. The kick that you don't see coming, and then hits that what's he call it? That Nova Roller. That Nova Roller kick to the face. Rolls him up for a 1, 2, 3. I think when Kenny Williams fell out of the Nova Roller, he conveniently rolled himself up. He stacked himself up, and Dar just kind of fell on him. 1, 2, 3. Noam Dar with the victory. Chris, what do you think about the opening match?
I like chain wrestling when it's entertaining and it builds a story. Their chain wrestling, I didn't like it. I like the ending of the match. It was a clever finish, actually, where he has the shoe and it's like, oh, here we go. Whoop, there's the shoe. Oh, dick kick. There you go. You're done. It was just clever. Like I said, I thought at one point Kenny Williams, what I noticed in the match, it's when, Kenny Williams was bouncing off the rope and he, sort of like what Dean Ambrose used to do when he bounced off the ropes and hit the clothesline. I thought he was about to fall because it looked like he almost lost his grip on the rope and was about to go right on back out. I'm like, oh, good Lord, don't do these people's moves if you don't know how to.
Yeah.
Well, the problem was he had to duck to get back under the top rope off of that jawbreaker, whatever you call it, jawbreaker spring, spring off the rope.
Well, it's just a jawbreaker earlier, right?
Dean Ambrose does it so well that you don't really notice him having to duck because these guys are big. Duck to get under the ropes. With Noam Dar, he was like, "Whoa!" Like I almost took my own head off.
Yeah.
But I see what you're saying. Yeah, don't do the move if it's gonna look like that, because it wasn't the most fluid looking one. Or no, it was Kenny Williams that did that one.
Kenny Williams did that one.
Yeah. Oops, my bad. So maybe.
I was about to say Kenny Williams. I think is only like maybe 5'8", 5'9", if that.
So why the hell did he have to duck?
Well, he had to like he probably didn't even duck. He just slid too far down. Dean Ambrose I think, is about 6'1", 6'2". So he's got a little more wiggle room when it comes to him falling backwards and hitting the ropes.
If you say so. So this, has a pinfall to end the match, and Noam Dar gets the win, but it's off of a kick to the balls, man. Like this doesn't finish anything.
Balls, dude. It's a taint.
So we had a victory, an in-match victory that doesn't mean a damn thing.
Yeah.
And that's the first of many things on this show that are of no consequence at all. So after this, we get an interview in the Performance Center, I guess, with James Drake and Zach Gibson. So Radzi runs up to them as they're getting done with, I think
squats.
Drake is getting done doing some squats. And talk about of no consequence. We get a little bit of character here from Zach Gibson being pissed off that Radzi's interrupting their workout. But all of the words that came out of his mouth after that are the same shtick that we've seen every time he's come out to the ring or to the stage or being interviewed backstage.
We're locker room generals. We're soon to be considered the most prestigious tag champions in all of wrestling. And he tells him to pretty much get out. And The only thing really special about this is the fact that even James Drake barks at him, "Get out," twice.
Well, he tells Radzi to go find them some contenders because I can't remember what he calls Sid Scala. Sid something.
It's Kaylee.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He actually shows some respect and calls Johnny Saint the appropriate name, but he says since they can't seem to find them contenders, he tells Radzi to go find them some contenders. Which is weird, because normally they're kind of the cowardly heels.
Yeah.
But I guess when you're certain that there are no other contenders, sure, why not? Because there really aren't. It doesn't seem like there's a tag team that has gotten enough momentum. The ones that seem like they should be in contention, like Mark Coffey and Wolfgang, for example, just they don't have any momentum towards it.
Mm-hmm.
Last team that sucked up all the momentum was Mustache Mountain, and they fucked them over by having Imperium come out and interfere in the match. Didn't even get a clean. All kinds of things pissing me off tonight.
I think it'll end up. Who do we think it's going to end up being? Because I'm pretty sure it's going to be Eichner and Bartel's going to be there next.
I really, really hope so. But it's heel versus heel. How do you get around that?
Those people will just choose the lesser of two evils and just go with it.
There you go. So after this, we get a recap of Kaylee Ray. Both several weeks ago in the 10-woman over-the-top battle royal for the #1 contendership, and then last week when she actually announced when she's going to have that match. I keep wanting to say cash in, but I mean that seems appropriate, but let's leave that for the Money in the Bank.
It made it sound like it was to be like a Money in the Bank type situation, but then we ended up getting just it got turned into that #1 contendership instead.
This is leading into our next match. We've got Jenny, Jazzy Gabbert, and Kaylee Ray versus Zaya Brookside, Piper Niven, and Toni Storm. And they're billing this as the first ever 6-woman tag match in NXT UK, and sure it is. It is a new brand. They're not even a year old yet. There are going to be a lot of firsts. I don't think this is the kind of match you make a big deal about, but whatever. A lot of nothing happens in this match.
Yeah.
Nothing very fun, certainly nothing worth writing a note about. I've got the end of the match, and that's it.
The only thing that really comes out of this match is Zaya Brookside will always lose. Basically, I was thinking at the beginning of the match, so I was like, okay, this is Zaya Brookside saying get pinned. It's like, no, surprise me a little bit. Show somebody else get pinned. Maybe Piper Niven gets pinned by Jazzy, or,
At the very least, Kaylee Ray gets the pinfall on her. Because she's the one heading in to it's not the main event, but the women's championship match at TakeOver Cardiff.
Yeah. Even if she
give her some momentum.
Yeah, just have her get the pinfall at least on either like Piper Niven, which would be interesting because that would it wouldn't kill her undefeated streak, but would put a little dent in it because it was a 6-person tag, so it wouldn't count as a singles loss for her, but she would actually be pinned by somebody else.
So instead of giving Kaylee Ray more momentum and giving her the pinfall victory, they decided to further the storyline of Jazzy Gabbert helping Jenny get the victory. In this case, Zaya Brookside goes up to the middle rope, and it looks like she's going to do a middle rope drop kick. And instead, Jazzy Gabbert grabs her foot and yanks her off the rope, feet back, splits her out. So she's draping over the middle turnbuckle. And Jenny comes over and does that fucking X Factor face plant.
Yep.
And conveniently plants her right into a pinning combination. Stacks her up. 1, 2, 3. Second stack up of the night.
Yep.
And I feel like you could have told both stories. You could have had that happen, and it's right there in the corner, and off of that, Kaylee Ray tags herself in, comes in and does her finisher and gets the pinfall.
Yeah.
And you've told all those stories and given Kaylee Ray the momentum. Because she needs it.
Mm-hmm.
I hate to say. I mean, doesn't seem like you should need it against Toni Storm, but she is the champ. So.
Well, it'll at least be like a little psychological ploy to the point where it's like, you just saw your future. You're going to get pinned.
What do you think about this match here, Chris?
Nothing to write home to mom about. I mean, just a basic match. They didn't really do too much of anything till the finish. Like I said, everybody knows my opinion on Toni Storm, so I won't get back into that shit again. But just wasn't good. Like, we got Xia Brookside, who, when I looked up some stuff, so I was reading some stuff last night, who was pretty successful before she went to NXT UK brand, winning championships, even beating people like Kaylee Ray and Toni Storm, stuff like that, to win these titles. They just pretty much made her like to be a pretty much just jobber to the stars.
Well,
or
she's
jobber
super
just
young.
anybody.
She is super young, and they've got all the time in the world, so she's got time to pay her dues now.
Yeah.
That's probably how they're looking at it.
I think if anything, also, they'll show any push or anything of hers in favor of the fact that her dad is like the head trainer at the Performance Center.
Yeah, so she's definitely got to pay her dues.
She's got to show that she's there and she's tough and she can take these losses, and then maybe she'll go almost like a heel type route and start picking up victories and whatnot after she realizes being nice is getting her absolutely nowhere.
Yeah, it seemed to me that Toni Storm was the only person in this match that got any signature moves.
Yeah.
Even Jenny, who's got some sweet moves.
Yes.
Didn't get any signature moves in. It was all just regular wrestling, like all the moves that everybody shares. And then they didn't win.
Yeah.
The heels still won. So I have no idea what to think about this match. It does nothing for anybody except further the fact that Jenny requires Jazzy Gabbert to win. Which doesn't really, to me, do anything good for her. But I guess it gives a new dimension to her character, and maybe now she can go for the title again and maybe win it. But, yeah, hopefully win it. There you go. So let's not have Kaylee Ray take it at Cardiff, but shortly thereafter, Jenny comes in and Jazzy helps her win it.
Yep.
Anything to get the title off of Toni Storm.
Absolutely.
Amen.
After this, we are on to the main event.
I was shocked by this.
Not a lot of in between for anything. We had the interview with fucking the tag champs, and that was like it. As far as, well, the interview with Trent Seven at the beginning of the show.
Yeah.
But that was even before the title card. So Trent Seven versus Walter. Walter comes out alone, and like, he's fucking Walter. And okay, I'm not going to say that it's obvious that Walter is going to beat Trent Seven, wink wink, but Walter beat Pete Dunne. And if you put Pete Dunne and Trent Seven in the ring, who's going to win? Pete Dunne every time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Pete Dunne every time. So, of course, Walter is going to beat Trent Seven. Question is, how long is it going to take? Took a while. Took a fucking while.
It took about 18 minutes.
But I did like the ending, because you don't normally see that kind of ending, but we'll wait to get there. Before I break down the main event, Chris, what do you think about it?
Pretty damn aggressive match. They were beating the shit out of each other. I did like the fact that Trent Seven went on, not even before the bell rang, did that suicide dive, started beating the shit out of him. That's the kind of start you need to the match. You know, you're pissed off, Tyler Bate was injured, that's your friend. All I can remember from weeks ago, you screaming, Tyler, heard that so many damn times. Like I said, man, it's good to start off the match, piss and vinegar, I'm pissed off, you hurt my friend, so I'm coming to beat the shit out of you. He wasn't worried about that damn title, even though he wasn't going to win it, wink, wink. But I liked the beginning of the match. I liked how they were being dominant and everything, and they, like I said, they were going back and forth. I think the one takeaway I had is Trent Seven got a lot more chops in than Walter. I was expecting Walter just to be just a lot more dominant. It seemed like they were doing more back evenly until the ending of the match. Then it seemed like it was more even 50-50 with them beating the shit out of each other instead of Walter just being, after that quick fury, just starting to beat the fuck out of him, because I figured this would have been a hell of a lot shorter of a match than what it was, but 18 minutes was a long match.
Yeah, I guarantee you that Trent Seven got more chops in, because there was a couple of times where he had Walter in the corner and he was just doing these really quick chops to him. Ones that were just so weak looking. Like, just don't bother doing it that fast if they're going to look weak. Like, they look like they wouldn't hurt anybody.
Mm-hmm.
Present company included.
Yeah.
They wouldn't hurt my TV. You could do that to my TV and it wouldn't hurt it at all. So, I wasn't impressed by that. But when Walter does a chop, it's meaningful.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He fucking lays people out with his chops. So there's a difference. Because Trent Seven hit a lot of chops on Walter, and he did get him a little bit red in the chest.
Mm-hmm.
But they really didn't do more than just make Walter turn around and look shocked.
I was about to say, there are more mosquito bites than anything else. If anything, he probably itched on him instead of, like, actually rubbing him in any way, shape, or form. It's like, man, I need to put some Benadryl on this. It was almost like an annoying gnat or annoying mosquito landing on your chest is what those chops were.
Well, this is a much longer match than we thought Trent Seven capable of. But he didn't really have to do a lot of cardio in this match. He landed a couple of tope suicidas early. In fact, the first one was before the bell rang.
Mm-hmm.
But other than that, it was a fairly slow-paced match. Very methodical. My only notes here are the ending.
Yeah.
But before I get to that, any other thoughts about the main event?
Not really, no. I basically went into it thinking it was going to be, like I said, I thought it was going to be like a street fight. Or maybe just some form of hardcore match, because they really haven't done anything like that there yet either. Like, that's what I was going to boil down to, is going to be something unsanctioned and pretty much anything goes. But you and I had discussed this before we started rolling, that could have easily turned into just an ambush by Imperium. And either way, the result would have been the same, Trent Seven losing.
Yeah. So, the end of this match comes with a power bomb to the apron.
Yep.
Walter hits Trent Seven much the same way he did Tyler Bate a couple weeks prior. Throws him in the ring. Doesn't go for a pinfall. In fact, goes for powerbomb number one. Number one.
Yep.
And then powerbomb number one, number two. And then powerbomb number one, number three. No, I think after two, Imperium comes out.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then three. Now they come out, they face the ring, and then they turn around, and he lands like two more power bombs in the ring. Still doesn't go for a pin. I think we get, including that ring apron, we get 6 power bombs total. And then finally the ref calls for the bell.
Yep.
It stops the match. I think this is technically a TKO, but they said the victory was by referee stoppage.
Yep.
Which is a terrible way to, just TKO, man. Technical knockout. He was getting powerbombed over and over. There was nothing he could do. And Jerry asked me, well, wouldn't he be disqualified? And I'm like, what do you mean, Walter? No.
Use the mat as a forward option.
It's the ref's job to protect the wrestlers from themselves.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It is not Walter's job to stop kicking Trent Seven's ass. His job is to kick Trent Seven's ass until he can get a pinfall. And if he chooses to kick his ass past the time when he could get a pinfall, then it's the ref's job to stop the match.
Mm-hmm.
Period.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the ref stopped it soon enough. Actually, I think after the second or third one, that should have been it. But
three should have been the charm.
This did nothing though.
No.
There was no consequence to this match. It was not for the title. It wasn't even billed as, if Trent Seven wins this, he should get a title opportunity. It was just billed as Trent Seven wants revenge.
Yep.
And he didn't get it. And Walter didn't need Imperium. They just came out as props.
Yep.
Honestly, I think the reason they came out is to stand guard on the stage in case any of the wrestlers in the back wanted to come out.
Or the rest of the referees.
If anybody wanted to come out and stop this match other than the ref.
Yep.
So, yeah. I mean, it was kind of powerful, but it was, again, of no consequence at all. That brings us to the end of the main event. And here on the NXT party, we like to rate the main event using good old-fashioned NXT. So, as our special guest tonight, Chris, out of 5 spots of NXT, where do you rate the main event?
2.5. It was pretty much like right in the middle. It wasn't something right home to mom about. Best thing about the match, I liked the ending of how it played out, how we had a referee stoppage because he couldn't go anymore, and just Walter doesn't have to be shown to be as dominant as he is. He already has proven himself to be a dominant champion. But the way they did that was pretty much just showing how dominant and how powerful he was. So pretty much that's all there really was to it with this match.
Absolutely unforgiving. Because Trent Seven was coming for blood. Mm-hmm. So he just powerbombed him until the ref stopped the match.
Mm-hmm.
What do you rate this, Jerry?
I'm actually going to go with the Holiday on this one with 2.5. I thoroughly enjoyed the ending because, yeah, there's no other faces coming out. They didn't even come out to the stage. There was nobody coming out to stop Walter from just completely decimating Trent Seven, which made out be one of those things where Trent Seven will be like, where's anybody else? You know?
He's basically separated himself from everybody else because it's always been British strong style.
Yeah.
And they didn't need anybody else. There was 3 of them. But now it's just him.
I think that's what they were trying to establish with this match. And I'm not sure if Tyler Bates is going to come back anytime soon. Maybe he'll come back in time for Cardiff, and that's going to be the match. It'll be Walter versus Tyler Bate. But at the same time, nobody really wants to see that right now because Tyler really hasn't gained championship opportunity at this point.
We're all waiting on Mastiff versus Walter.
Yeah. But Mastiff is busy right now.
If anybody has fucking earned through victories an opportunity at that title, it is Dave Mastiff.
Yeah.
Because if Jordan Devlin got it after 3 victories, surely Mastiff, being undefeated in singles competition, deserves the championship opportunity. He is a babyface. Mm-hmm. He's a big guy. He looks like he could take it from Walter. And even if he can't, it'll still be a good match, I think. Oh, I have to rate this match. Yeah. I am going to agree with you initially. Right down the middle of the road, 2.5. But because of the ending.
Yeah.
That TKO. Shit like that you just don't see all the time.
So you get an extra quarter?
We saw the TKO from, who was it? Matt Riddle the other day.
Yeah.
But that was just strikes.
Yeah.
In this case, just brutal powerbomb after power. I liked it. I'm going to go...
They actually called it a technical knockout, like on NXT television.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go with the 2 3/4 spots of tea.
Yeah.
I'll bump it a quarter just for that ending.
That sounds fair enough.
All right. Well, that brings us to the end of this episode of the NXT Party. Thank you for joining us, Chris. And if you would like to join us on the big screen and help us review a future episode of NXT UK, you can find me on Twitter. Go to nodq.com/Stefan. That's STEFAN. If you just want to look me up on Twitter, it's at Stefan R. Osborne, OSBORNE. As always, the R stands for restricted. You can also find the gentleman on Twitter
at NoDQ General, and also my Facebook group Armbar, all capital ARMBAR.
Exclamation point!
Exclamation point!
We've got Stefan as an administrator. Chris is always in there posting all sorts of crazy videos and questions and whatnot until he gets out of Facebook jail, and then he'll be back to being a moderator again. So, Come join us there for wrestling discussions, wrestling memes, whatever.
Yep, add us on Twitter, add us on Armbar, but not on Facebook. I had another request from a wrestling fan on Facebook today.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't watch our videos. He doesn't know. Yeah, Facebook is spoiler free for us. You can find us on Twitter. You can find me on Instagram at osborne.stuffin. Woot woot.
Mm-hmm.
If you like our videos, please click the like button that's underneath me. And if you like all of our videos, do yourself a favor and click the subscribe button over there underneath Jerry. And after you subscribe to NoDQ.com, find us on Aftermatch Wrestling. That's all one word, AFTERMATCH, Aftermatch Wrestling. That is our channel. That's where these videos go up first and in HD. So if that's important to you, you can find us on Aftermatch.
Shiny, shiny.
We are on our way to 100 subscribers. At 100, we are going to start doing What's NXT? That's our NXT review show live on NoDQ.com's YouTube channel. When we hit 1,000, that's when YouTube will let us do it live on our channel. And we will start doing this show live on our channel too. We'll just start doing everything live.
Mm-hmm.
That way you guys can ask us questions if you happen to be up in the morning when we do this show. I don't even know what time it is right now. It is early AF.
Yeah.
AF bomb.
We off work at like 4:30 in the morning now. So, yeah.
Yeah, we are at 92 subscribers. So if you are watching this video on Aftermatch, please do us another favor and click the share button. That's somewhere down in there in the middle. Share us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, even on your YouTube channel.
Pass those notes that you used to fold into little envelope shapes.
We are 8 subscribers away from going live.
Mm-hmm.
So if you can help us get there before we are live in Toronto.
Yes.
August 10th and 11th. On August 11th at 11 a.m. we will be at the Verst.
Union Station.
And that will be the No DQ meetup for Toronto weekend. And we will be at NXT TakeOver Toronto too. We will be at SummerSlam.
Buy us nachos.
But if you want to meet us, Aaron Riff, Caitlin, Virtue, a whole bunch of the No DQ team, you can find us in Toronto. Have I said Toronto enough time? Go to nodq.com / guess what? Yes. / Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
And you can RSVP to the meetup.
While you're there, go ahead and check out the t-shirts.
And it's just a couple weeks away. I'm so excited to go, but I hate packing. I get this anxiety build up that I'm going to forget something. And I overpack.
You're going to leave me here.
I'm going to forget Jerry.
You're forget your 6'5", 6'6" co-host. I'll be sitting there at home, duffel bags. I'm going to Toronto. I'm not going to Toronto.
That's a 10.5-hour drive. You're paying for half the gas. I ain't leaving you nowhere. You are getting back in that fucking truck.
Yeah.
Excuse me, folks. I've been holding that in for an hour.
What?
Or at least 36 minutes.
I must say, it's not a long episode at all.
So, for the holiday, Christopher Mace for the General Jerry Slaughter.
One more second.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Jerry.
Get well soon, Colin Andrew, and subscribe to his channel, The Chocolate Block.
Colin space Andrew, spelled the way you would think. COLIN space ANDREW. While we're at it, Fortune 44 or Wrestling Fortune 44. That's where you can subscribe to Owen Finch's channel. We've got simply_C_OK. That's where you can subscribe to Cindy G's channel, the Duchess herself. And
let's let him plug Noah.
Go ahead, plug Noah.
And you can also watch Noah's shows on with 205 Live Matters, because as always, 205 Live does matter. And he also does other shows, doing reviews. We do reviews of AEW predictions, and he also does a show on New Japan, especially with the G1 series going on right now. They've actually got a 2-point lead in right now. It's a miracle I'm winning something. But like I said, he does a lot of great work, so check out his channel. Now you got to say the channel name, because I can't.
Noah Foster.
Channel names.
Something number. It's a double-digit number. 92, I think.
Yeah.
Noah Foster 92, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm probably wrong, but we tried Noah, I swear. He's just a simple man. and a lifelong fan
of wrestling.
For the holiday Christopher Mace, for the General Jerry Slaughter, finally, I am the Wizard of No DQ, Stefan Osborne. Thank you for joining us and having a spot of NXT. And we will see you NXT time.
Have a good morning, y'all.